Sean, tall and golden with his lawyer's smile, clapped me on the shoulder like we were old buddies instead of reluctant acquaintances thrown together by our wives' friendship. Nathan, I was just telling Julia about this divorce case I'm handling. The husband hired a private investigator to follow his wife, but it turns out she was actually planning his surprise birthday party. Sean's laugh was too loud, too forced. Can you imagine being that paranoid? Julia giggled, touching Sean's arm. Some men are so suspicious, they see conspiracies everywhere. The comment hit like a slap. I'd been questioning some late nights at the office, some deleted text messages, some new lingerie that never seemed to make it into our bedroom. Julia was calling me paranoid in front of the man I suspected she was sleeping with. Paranoid? I repeated slowly. Yeah, that would be crazy. The party continued around us, but something had shifted. I watched Julia and Sean more carefully now, noting the synchronized bathroom breaks, the way they seemed to communicate with glances across the crowd. When Julia's friend Tanya pulled me aside to ask if everything was okay at home, I knew I wasn't imagining things. You seem tense lately, Tanya said, her voice dripping with fake concern. Marriage can be so hard when people grow apart. What do you mean? Oh, nothing specific. It's just that Julia seems so happy lately, glowing, like she's got a secret. Tanya's smile was pure poison. I hope you two work things out. By the time we got home, I was ready to confront Julia directly, but she beat me to the punch, cornering me in our kitchen with fire in her eyes. What the hell was wrong with you tonight? She demanded.
And you're going to apologize to Sean for your behavior tonight, or don't bother coming to bed. I stared at my wife of 15 years, this woman I thought I knew, and saw a stranger. Her beautiful face was twisted with something ugly, not guilt, but anger at being caught. Fine, I said quietly. I'll apologize to Sean. Julia's expression softened slightly. Good, I'll call him tomorrow and arrange. No need, I'll drive over there right now. Nathan, it's almost midnight. I grabbed my keys from the counter. Then I guess Sean will remember this apology. Sean and Kira lived in one of those modern monstrosities that looked like a glass box had intimacy with a concrete bunker. Even at midnight, every light seemed to be on, casting harsh shadows across their perfectly manicured lawn. I sat in my car for a moment, watching the house, planning my next move. My phone buzzed. Julia. Don't screw this up, her text read. Sean's really hurt by your accusations. Be the bigger man. I almost laughed. Be the bigger man? Right. I walked up to their front door and rang the bell. The sound echoed through the house like a church bell announcing Judgment Day. After a few moments, I heard footsteps, and the door opened to reveal Kira in a silk robe, her hair pulled back, eyes sharp with suspicion. Nathan, what are you doing here? I need to speak with Sean. Is he available? Kira's eyes narrowed. It's midnight. I know, it's important. She studied my face for a long moment, then stepped back. Sean, Nathan's here to see you. I heard movement upstairs. Then Sean appeared at the top of the staircase in pajama pants and a t-shirt. His face was flushed and he looked nervous as hell. Nathan, what's going on? Is everything okay? Everything's fine. I just came to apologize. Sean descended the stairs slowly, Kira watching from the doorway. I noticed their teenage son Eli peering around the corner from the kitchen, drawn by the late-night drama. Apologize? Sean's voice cracked slightly. For what? I smiled, feeling calmer than I had in weeks. For accusing you of screwing my wife behind both our backs, I was completely out of line. The words hung in the air like smoke from a gun. Kira's face went white, then red. Sean's mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. What did you just say? Kira's voice was quiet. I said I was sorry for accusing Sean of having an affair with Julia. I mean, what kind of man would destroy two families just for some bored housewife action, right? Nathan, you need to leave. Sean's voice was shaking now. You're obviously having some kind of breakdown. Am I? I pulled out my phone and opened the photos I'd managed to recover from Julia's deleted messages. Because I've got pictures that say otherwise. Want to see the one where Julia's wearing that red lingerie set?
The one she told me she returned to the store? Kira snatched the phone from my hand before Sean could stop her. Her face went through about 6 different expressions in 3 seconds, settling on pure rage. "You bastard," she whispered. But she wasn't looking at me. She was staring at her husband. "You lying, cheating bastard." "Kira, let me explain." "Explain what? Explain why my best friend is sending you naked pictures? Explain why you've been working late every Tuesday for the past 6 months?" Sean tried to grab the phone, but Kira pulled back. "These are from last week, Sean, while I was visiting my mother in Florida. Julia's too proud to miss this. She'll want to prove that she's not ashamed." "And Sean? Sean's a coward, but Julia will drag him here if she has to." As if summoned by our conversation, Julia appeared in the doorway. She looked beautiful, as always, in a red dress that hugged her curves and made her look like a movie star. Sean was beside her, uncomfortable in his tuxedo, his eyes scanning the room like he expected an ambush. The room went quiet for about 3 seconds. Then the whispers exploded like fireworks. Julia held her head high as they made their way to a table near the back. I had to admire her courage, even if I despised everything else about her. "She's got balls," Kira murmured. "I'll give her that." The evening proceeded normally for about an hour. Dinner was served, speeches were made, and the charity auction began. I'd volunteered to help with the audio-visual equipment, which gave me access to the projection system they were using to display photos of the auction items. When the auctioneer called for a brief intermission, I made my move. Instead of the next auction item, the screen filled with a text message conversation. Julia's name was clearly visible at the top, along with Sean's responses. The messages were explicit, detailed, and left absolutely nothing to the imagination. The room went dead silent. Then someone gasped. Then someone else whispered, "Oh my God." Julia's face went white as she realized what was happening. Sean looked like he was about to vomit. The auctioneer, bless his heart, kept trying to continue with the auction, but nobody was listening. The messages kept scrolling. 6 months worth of affair documentation, including photos of hotel rooms, romantic dinners, and lingerie purchases. What a pleasant surprise. "We need to talk," Julia said. "All of us, together." "About what?" "About ending this," Sean said. "About finding a way to move forward that doesn't destroy everyone." I stepped back and let them into my house, their first time inside since the night I discovered their affair. They looked around nervously, as if expecting an ambush. "Can I get you anything? Coffee? Water? Divorce papers?" "Nathan, please," Julia said. "Can we just talk like adults?" "I've been trying to talk like an adult for 3 weeks. You've been hiding at your sister's house and sending lawyers to threaten me. Because you've been destroying our lives." "No, Julia. I've been revealing the truth about your lives. There's a difference." Sean stepped forward. "Look, we made mistakes." "Mistakes? You call a 6-month affair a mistake?" "It wasn't supposed to happen. It just did." "Right. You just accidentally fell into bed together, repeatedly, for 6 months." Julia's face crumpled. "We never meant to hurt anyone." "But you did hurt people. You hurt me. You hurt Kira. You hurt your children. And now you're upset because there are consequences." "What do you want from us?" Sean demanded. "What will it take to make you stop?" I looked at them both. These 2 people who had been so important in my life just a month ago. Julia, the woman I'd loved for 15 years. Sean, who I'd considered a friend despite never really liking him. Now they were just obstacles to be removed. "I want you gone," I said quietly. "Both of you. I want you out of this town, out of my life, out of my daughter's life. I want you to disappear." "That's impossible." "Nothing's impossible, Sean. You just have to want it badly enough." My doorbell rang. I smiled. "Excuse me. I'm expecting someone." I opened the door to find Kira along with 2 other people I didn't recognize, a man in an expensive suit and a woman with a camera. "Nathan," Kira said cheerfully,
I'd like you to meet my attorney, David Morrison, and Sarah Chen from Channel 7 News. They're here to interview Sean and Julia about their affair. Julia and Sean both went white. You called the news? Julia whispered. Actually, they called me, the reporter said, stepping forward. We received an anonymous tip about an intimate scandal involving prominent local attorney Sean McAlister and real estate agent Julia Callahan. We'd love to get your side of the story. No comment, Sean said quickly. We have no comment. That's fine, Sarah said. We have plenty of material already. The story runs tomorrow night. Sean and Julia looked at each other in horror. Their affair was about to become regional news. Unless, Kira said sweetly, you'd prefer to give an exclusive interview where you can control the narrative. Maybe explain how sorry you are, how much you regret hurting your families. This is blackmail, Sean said. No, I corrected. This is consequences. You can either tell your story your way or let other people tell it for you. But either way, the story's getting told. Julia started crying. Not the pretty tears she used to manipulate me, but ugly, desperate sobs. Please, Nathan, I'll sign the divorce papers. I'll give you whatever you want. Just make this stop. It's too late for that, Julia. You should have thought about consequences before you decided to blow up our marriage. The reporter was setting up her camera equipment, clearly planning to film right there in my living room. Sean and Julia looked trapped, which was exactly how I wanted them to feel.
I know how that sounds, but it sounds like you're still making the same choices that got you into this mess. Maybe, but I can't stay here, not after everything that's happened. What about Chloe? She's made it clear she wants to stay with you. Maybe that's for the best. I felt a mixture of relief and sadness. Relief that I wouldn't have to fight for custody. Sadness that my daughter was losing her mother. Where will you go? Sean has a cousin in Oregon. We're going to try to start over there. Julia, what? I wanted to say something profound, something that would make sense of the destruction we'd all caused. Instead, I just said, I hope you find what you're looking for. I already lost what I was looking for, she said quietly. I just didn't realize it until it was too late. She hung up, and I knew it was the last time we'd speak as husband and wife. 3 months later, the divorce was finalized. Julia signed over everything. The house, the business, full custody of Chloe. She and Sean had disappeared into their new life in Oregon, leaving behind nothing but wreckage and memories. Kira had also moved away, taking her settlement money and her children to start fresh in California. Before she left, she stopped by to say goodbye. Any regrets? She asked as we stood in my driveway. I thought about it. About exposing the affair? No. About how far I took it? Maybe. They made their choices, Nathan. We just made sure there were consequences. I know, but sometimes I wonder if I became someone I don't like in the process. Kira smiled. You became someone who wouldn't be walked on. There's nothing wrong with that. After she left, I went back into my house now, legally.